4 de la mañana está con nosotros Nicholas Hancock, analista de tecnología, medios y telecomunicaciones de Carmignac. Nicholas, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. Very happy to be here.
Look in this market today, what's the best tech areas to invest in, and why?
So I think it's important to first level set what we've been seeing in technology this year. As I'm sure you know, it's been a very volatile market, and we've already seen a crash that is comparable to the dot-com crash of 2000. So what you have is really quite a lot of high-quality businesses and technology that are now, frankly, on sale in terms of trading at very reasonable valuations. And ultimately, some of the mega trends within technology haven't really changed. The CEO of Microsoft, he thinks that tech as a percentage of global GDP is going to double by the end of the decade. So really, at the end of the day, a lot of very exciting growth opportunities within tech, and none of those have changed. Within that, we see a few very interesting opportunities. I think one is in terms of enterprise spending, I think we see a lot of opportunity there. That seemed to be holding up a lot better during a very tricky macroeconomic environment. And so we think that cloud software spending is seeing a lot of exciting growth. Another area is cybersecurity. As we've seen over the past couple of years, we've seen the number of cybersecurity incidents increase massively since the onset of COVID, and it seems like every month there's a new high-profile hack. And so we see a lot of growth within cybersecurity, and we consider that a very exciting investment area. More near term, what we've seen is that the resurgence of travel has come back in a big way in terms of consumer travel. I'm sure we've all noticed as we've tried to book our summer holidays. But during COVID, obviously travel fell off, but we're seeing signs that the travel has come back to even above 2019 levels, and so we see a lot of opportunity there. So I think overall tech is still very much in growth mode. The fundamentals haven't changed despite the macro environment, and so for a discerning investor, there are a lot of high quality businesses now that are very interesting opportunities.
Seeing the graphic about Nasdaq since the beginning of the millennial, we could see that April was the worst month since 2008. Could be these losses continues during this May?
It's quite difficult to say. I mean, sentiment right now is very bearish. I would counter that with the fundamentals as we wind through earnings season have largely seemed intact for the most part, depending on the sector. So really, this isn't a fundamental-driven correction. This is really just more of a sentiment and multiple macroeconomic-driven correction. And right now, some of the big headwinds that we're seeing in tech, as inflation increases and interest rates increase, that tends to affect tech quite negatively. And so it's a question there of when we could see inflation turnover and potentially some of that interest rate pressure subside. That will be an important factor for tech. Otherwise, we're already at very, very low multiples. As I said, it's for most of the Nasdaq, the overall Nasdaq's dominated by the mega cap names. If you look at the average name within the Nasdaq, they've already seen a correction on par with the 2000-2001 crisis. So the market's already priced in a big reset, and so it's difficult to say how much more downside there is from here, but the recovery will be dependent on macroeconomic factors.
When you see Europe, how do you see companies in teleco like Telefónica or companies like Vodafone that could have an opportunity for the investor?
Yeah, the debate in Europe, in European telecom right now is really around the regulatory environment. We're starting to see very early and encouraging signs that the EU could be a little bit more accommodating towards some consolidation in certain markets. As we know, European telecom has historically been much more competitive than US telecom, which has traditionally led to lower shareholder returns. But there are encouraging signs now that this could potentially change as the regulators become more M&A friendly in order to try and foster 5G investment in Europe. So it's really dependent on how the EU shakes out there, but certainly EU telecom has more green shoots in it than there has been for a while.
Thank you very much, Nicholas Hancock, analista de tecnología, medios y telecomunicaciones de Carmignac. Good day, good business, Nicholas.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much.